Hi guys, my name is Yazmin Zammit and this is my first ever YouTube video. So my name is Yazmin Zammit. I am Maltese. If you don't know where Malta is, it is bang in the center of the Mediterranean Sea and also the most beautiful island in the world. Basically, I already share quite a lot through my Instagram. However, it is a completely different story than what I tend to show on the gram. I am actually the first Maltese woman ever to go to Worlds. Go. Let me be. Stay. So anything else about me that you guys should know? When I started weightlifting 4 years ago, I was finishing off my degree in maths and statistics. And then after I graduated, I just made the decision to try take up the sport full time and see where it takes me. Well, 4 years on, here I am, just been to my second ever World Championships. So my favorite training ever is probably the training leading up to a big competition. A normal training program that is usually loads of volume starts to go into low volume and heavy weights. So it's like just a nice 2 weeks of super heavy lifting, trying to max out, trying to do the best possible results in those 2 weeks. And I think that's probably my favorite kind of training. My last few training sessions before I went to Thailand were great. I PR'd loads of lifts. Everything was just falling into place and I was the happiest I had been in so long.
Hey, I'm maxing my snatch this morning and my clean and jerk tonight. Today is a very important day. Annoying. You're annoying.
Get my nails done. Yeah. Physio time. I'm always late. For this specific competition, I definitely did not have the best ever preparation. Woke up one day, tried to step off my bed and couldn't even hold my own weight on my feet. This happened back in June. Went to the gym, tried to pick up a barbell, could barely get the empty barbell off the floor. It was just giving me shocking pains throughout my entire body. I discussed it with my coach. You know what? I'm gonna take the weekend off, rest it off, 4 days, I'll be fine. I'll be back on Monday. Turns out it just got worse and worse and worse over the weekend. When eventually I went to check out what was wrong with my ankle, I found out I had injured my tendon in 2 different places. I was honestly devastated. So I spent then the following 8 weeks doing intensive rehab for my ankle, going to a physio or doctor every single day. I'd also ice my feet twice a day, constantly stretch, constantly do exercises my physios told me to do, get this shockwave thing on my ankle, which honestly feels absolutely horrible. I had to deal with pain, boredom, because I mean, I'm a full-time athlete and all of a sudden I couldn't train. And most of all, the worst, anxiety and panic attacks I've ever had. And there were actually a lot of times during those 8 weeks where I was convinced that the only way out of that pain for me was to just stop lifting. And I know this might sound dramatic, but believe me when I say, for those entire 8 weeks of doing all that rehab and doing absolutely everything in my power to try and recover, my ankle never got better. I was just mentally drained. I was almost ready to just give up on going to Worlds again. For some reason, I never discussed how I felt, that I felt like I was never gonna recover, that I felt like I'm failing miserably. I never discussed those feelings with anyone because I almost felt like discussing them with someone, admitting how I felt to someone, it would be me accepting defeat. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's how I felt at the time. I kept going, I kept pushing, I kept going to the gym, trying to just stay focused on recovering. Eventually, I was given the go-ahead to start just getting the ankle moving. Then all of a sudden, everything seemed great. And it seemed like I was gonna get somewhere, I was gonna start training again. Little did I know, once I started training, that's when the biggest challenge actually started. So I went from snatching 85, clean and jerking 105 easily to picking up 45 kilos off the floor and failing. It just felt like I had overcome such a big hurdle already and more hurdles were just coming in my way. And it just kept feeling like something's telling me to just give up. After a few weeks that I started training again, I was not sleeping. It just felt like there was this huge weight just sitting on my chest. I don't even know how to explain it, but it just felt like something was on my chest constantly, genuinely just feeling horrible, feeling like such a failure. And I just decided that was it. And I cannot do this alone anymore. So I got up, drove to the gym, cried all the way there, spoke to my coach and I said, listen, I just really need to get something off my chest. I don't think I'm capable of making it to Worlds. I don't think I can do it. I am failing and I don't think I have it in me anymore. He said that he thought, he really believes that I'll be okay. I went back home and I told my parents the same thing. Again, they gave me so much support, and then called my boyfriend, gave me so much support. And even though, of course, it didn't fix anything in my actual lifting, it just removed that huge weight off my chest. I felt supported. And that night, I just slept for like 13 hours straight. It was all uphill from there. It was all uphill from there. I actually hate packing. If I had money, I would pay people to pack for me, not to forget what to pack. Actually, I had like these ready-made printed lists with all like the essentials. We flew on an early Monday morning, which is okay because it means I got a good night's sleep before I went. I had never been to Thailand before, so this was my first time in the country. So we flew Malta, Doha, Phuket, and then we had about 7 hours in Phuket, then flew to Pattaya from Phuket. So in those 7 hours when we got to Phuket, we had already been traveling for around 13 hours. When we got to Phuket, since we had those 7 hours, we made the decision to find a nearby gym. and just get some easy squats in, up to 100 kilos for a few reps. Did some barbell work, just overhead squats, good mornings, and then also some stretching just to make sure to get my body moving a bit. Of course, you get a bit stiff from all the traveling, so that was really important. And the gym we went to in Phuket was actually a really beautiful gym, completely surrounded by greenery. We also walked to the beach after, just chilled by the beach a bit. It was a really good break in between flights. We then had one last flight, which was only an hour to Pattaya. So we arrived on Tuesday afternoon to the World Championships venue. So it's the first day in Thailand. I forgot where I am for a second. I had a really good sleep. We got in quite, well, not late, but like for me it was just, we've been traveling for way too long, so I was super tired. First day going to the gym. I'm really excited. I'm gonna have a coffee, get dressed, and go straight to the training hall. So the training hall, I'd literally live there. I'd literally camp in a training hall. You put down a camp for me in a training hall and I will live there. This is the most amazing place. In Thailand, at these World Championships, the entire hall doubled as both the training hall and the competition hall. So you could literally get your training in, walk all the way around and get to the competition area. I always feel great in a training hall. I always feel like I'm really at home, and you get so easily inspired by the people around you. So many times you'd be training on one platform and the world's greatest is like right next to you, right behind you, and you just look around and people are lifting ridiculous amounts and you're just instantly inspired. And I'm always so humbled to be in a training hall like that, just because I am from such a small country that's never had lifters go to these huge championships, and all of a sudden, you know, the most normal human being just started the sport 4 years ago, and I'm just like I'm bang in the middle of a training hall with the world's greatest. It is honestly an unreal sensation. thing about my body weight. So when I am eating healthy, exactly how I should, my natural body weight is at around 68, 69, which is actually the body weight I am at right now. If I do cheat on my meals just a little bit, so like around Christmas maybe, I do go up to like 70, 71. However, I actually compete as a 64. In no way whatsoever am I actually a 64 kilo athlete. I always cut down to 64 just because it is the only Olympic category now. 71s isn't, so I had to either move up or down, and I am a small human, so moving up to 76s wasn't really an option. And before, I used to always cut down to 63, so we said, you know what, 64 is actually easier anyway. It is not easy. However, because of the injury, 5 weeks before the competition, we made the decision not to put any extra stress on the body. Given that it was already so stressed out with the injury, we decided to just compete as a 71 for this competition only, and then eventually cut down for the rest. So I think I had 5 training sessions in all at Worlds. So the 5 days prior to a competition, they'll start out a bit heavy, and then you start tapering, you start like deloading, just to get your body ready, super fresh for the competition day. My last training session, which was easy power snatches, easy power clean and jerks, I was surrounded by the American team. Sitting right behind me, there was Matty Rogers, and then like 2 platforms away from me, there was Kate Nye and Hunter behind me as well. Like, these are all athletes I adore. That last session, being surrounded by people like Matty Rogers, who is the main reason I started lifting. If you told me 4 years ago that I was gonna be at Worlds lifting in a training hall with Matty Rogers sitting behind me, I would have literally freaked out. I would have said, no way, you're absolutely joking. It just cannot be true. It's crazy. I still feel like it was just a dream. It was such a great last session to get inspired. It was honestly amazing. Hello. So it is the night before my competition. I am in my bathroom because I do not have light in the rest of my hotel room. I know I'm ready. Training here has been incredible. I am nervous now. It's just that I know I can do well. I know I can do well. I can really do well. I just need to keep my head as positive as possible. I feel like I have so much to prove. The last competition I did was basically Europeans. Every other competition I've tried since, I was in my injury or fresh out of injury, and I've had to withdraw. So this will be my first competition back, and it's a very big competition to come back to. I'm actually going to check my body weight now. So I'm competing in under 71s. I am wearing jean shorts, a belt, and my top. I'm under 71. I'm so excited. I have so much to prove to myself. The fact I managed to get my head in a space where I am here now is honestly ridiculous. I'm already really proud of myself for being here, genuinely, honestly, and I never ever say that. I never say I'm proud of myself. For a very long time there, I honestly thought that was the end of like my very short weightlifting career. And I am here, and I'm gonna be competing at Worlds, and I am amongst world champions, and I'm gonna give it my all. I am going to give it my all, and I'm so proud of myself for being here. I really, really am. I really am. I can't believe I'm here again. Malta is an incredibly small, tiny island, but our passion and our belief is huge. And I feel that. I feel that from my country. I feel the love. I feel the support. I really want to make you guys proud. You have no idea. So yeah, I'm gonna rest up. That's it from me. See you from the platform. So competition day, you weigh in 2 hours before, got my weigh-in done, 69.4. Then you go into like a resting area, and in Thailand they actually made a resting area with beds, which was great. I just laid on a bed for a while, you know, keep my body super calm, make sure I don't get super excited right before a competition, leave all that energy entirely for during the competition. Started warming up, felt great. Warm-up area was full of athletes that were similar in level with me, so I knew it was gonna be a really good competition. I knew that I was gonna have to fight for every single kilo to outrank as many athletes as I could. When they call out your name for the first lift, it is, I think, the most excited I ever feel, ever in any situation. Like, my heart starts to pound. You kind of just get up on stage and all the lights are on you, and the entire competition area is just silent, and they just wait for you to lift your weights. This time round, all things considered, I opened with my heaviest ever snatch and clean and jerk. Opened at 82. But see, what happened was there was around like 8 lifts in between my first and second lift. So we decided to do some light 75 kilo snatches in the back just to stay warm. And I must have just like been way too confident with feeling how light 75 was in the back. As soon as I lifted 85 off the floor, I just felt my entire body sway forwards. Didn't even like attempt it. That was so bad. Back into the warm-up area. My coach was like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "I just made a really silly mistake. I promise you I'm gonna get it on my third one." So we went out for my third one. Got a ridiculous save, and the refs give me a no lift. Eventually, the jury changed it into a good lift. I was just so happy. I just ran back to my, a platform, and it was like, oh my God, thank God. Like, 85 is just so different than 82. I'm happy with 85. 85 is actually only 1 kilo less than my best ever. So it was just shaping up to be a great competition. Went on to do my clean and jerks. Warm up went. Everything felt so easy. It was great. I got my first lift at 102, felt really easy. Went out to do 105. Almost broke my back jerking 105. I'm still working on my jerk, please don't judge me. Then there was a little while to wait, and it was time for a 107 kilo PR. I don't know what happened in the clean. The clean looks really easy. didn't manage to get the jerk. 105 is equal my best. 190 total is a 1 kilo PR total. And I just sat down and I just thought, how on earth did I do this? How did I manage? How did I overcome being incredibly discouraged from my injury? How did I manage to get out of my injury in time? How did I manage to pull myself together to train for the World Championships? If I did this, I can do absolutely anything. Honestly, that's exactly how I felt. And I'm so proud of what I did. And I'm so proud of my result. And I immediately came back super inspired to just continuously train and get better. I love that I represent people who come from a small country, countries where being an athlete isn't an actual thing. I feel like in a sense, I just represent the norm. Being inspired by a world champion is always great, but I hope in some way I inspire people who are not world champions yet. 4 years ago, I missed all my 45 kilo snatches and got 70 kilo on my clean and jerk, and 4 years later, here I am. Just came back from my second World Championship, and that was my 2019 World Championships journey.